Welcome to R&R's Ask the Expert. I'm your host, Mildred Ingram, R&R's editor-in-chief, and today I am joined by special guests, Larry Cooper, Jennifer Wilkinson, and Jillian Olson of the Experience events. This event features cleaning, restoration, and remediation processes, products, and procedures. Thank each of you for joining us.
Great to be with you, Mildred. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's just get right to it. Larry, I know that you are the founder of this event. Tell me about the experience. Like, how did it come about?
Well, I was very involved in the industry. I had over 35 years in the industry, cleaning and restoration and remediation and trauma scene and a variety of things. But I was always very interested in certification standards and educational programs. And what I saw was that there was a lack of uniformity in bringing standard of care to the industry. And so I was very involved with IICRC and wrote standards, chaired the standards committee, became a standards consultant with them, and over the years developed a lot of relationships, thank goodness, with experts throughout the industry and around the industry, and gave us an opportunity to start featuring some of those people in education programs. And we worked with associations for a long time, and we had the opportunity to start the experience so that we could maybe make a change in the way people are actually learning, because we do know that people learn differently, and especially take me. I can sit in a classroom and I can listen for hours and I can take notes. And at the end of it, if you ask me what they said, I would probably be going, I don't know. That's me though. And so what I found was some research studies that were done about education. And the majority of the population doesn't learn by sitting in a classroom and listening to lecture. They learn by doing it. And so that's what we did. We focused and named the overall conference the Experience, because we thought people might learn a little better, easier, and more fulfilling in being involved in the experience itself.
Okay. And Jillian and Jennifer, either one of you can go first, but at what point did you join the company?
I actually have been here 20 years now.
Wow.
I started in 2003. I got my degree in social work, and I worked with that for about 4 or 5 years before I got the call like, hey, I need help doing some of these events. And I was, I had no idea what I was jumping into. And to this day, I'm still here and absolutely love it. So it is very social. It's more on the positive side of the world when it comes to social aspects, but I really enjoy it. I love what I do. And, you know, meeting and greeting everybody in the industry on a daily basis is really fun and opportunity for me. And I absolutely love talking to everybody all the time. So I'm a good connection when it comes to that resource of knowledge. So
Jillian?
Yes, I actually was not involved in this industry at all. I have actually a degree in dance and art history, so it has nothing to do with this world at all. And I would get asked to come to the shows and just assist wherever I could be. So I helped at registration. We used to do silent auctions, so I helped in those pretty much wherever they needed me to go. And then in 2007, I believe it was, I was pregnant and having my first baby and needed to change careers because I couldn't afford daycare. And my parents, who are Larry and Trina, said, hey, you can come work for us and help out at the Experience. You already know the industry. You already know what we do at the shows, and we can find some more for you to do, and you'd be able to bring your kids. So I started working for them full time the end of 2007, and have pretty much been more involved in the registration process and the attendee side of it, as opposed to the exhibitor side of it, which has been a pretty good balance. But I also just became kind of the I don't know, helper in any aspect that they needed. They'd say, we need you over here, we need you over here, we need you over here. And I was like, okay, great. And I love that because I hate sitting at a desk all day looking at a computer. So it's really given me an opportunity to be involved in different areas and always be on my feet moving, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are telling you the real story. They came in and our organization was growing so rapidly.
Mhm.
They brought systems into the company that we dearly needed. And they were able to, work with us in a way that it allowed us to really understand what we were doing, how we were doing it, and really evaluate how we could grow, what the future looked like. And so they've both done a great job. It's been really a joy to work with a family. It's amazing.
Proud Papa.
You got that.
So what is something that is unique about the experience compared to maybe other events?
Well, probably the most unique, crazy idea I ever came up with, other than Jennifer's idea to burn down a house outside at the show, didn't work very well, by the way, was to build a house inside the trade show hall
Mhm.
and flood it. And of course, every hotel and convention center we go to looks at us in total disbelief, like, you're going to flood it? And we're like, absolutely. And so we learned how to build a structure and put some obstacles into the structures. And we do it with a team of volunteers
Mhm.
that love to get together. They come together, and not only do they help us, but they're learning so much from each other. And they develop these amazing friendships and relationships that have carried on for years. So, I mean, it's just been an amazing opportunity. The first time that we did the flood house, we were looking for something crazy and spectacular. So we built a 2-story flood house, and
Two
we
stories.
hired a
Okay.
stuntman. And so right at the top of the stairs, we put a toilet and a wall next to him with 500 gallons of water next to him. And so I had 2 guys staged back there, and this guy's sitting on the toilet reading the newspaper, and we dumped 500 gallons of water on him. And he tumbles down the stairs into a swimming pool at the bottom. And he jumps up and he's looking, and he runs outside the house. There must be 700 or 800 people watching this, maybe more. And he screams, "What are you doing in my front yard?" And it was a
Hilarious.
great way to open up the house. I'm still friends with that guy, by the way. He's amazing. His name's Aaron Huey. But the idea behind the flood house is
Mhm.
to really get down for 3 days about best practices, new systems, new tools, and best drying opportunities, and taking care of problems along the way. On the cleaning side, then, we have done so much with carpet cleaning, both wet and dry systems, upholstery cleaning, rug cleaning, having full rug cleaning plants at the shows to do live demonstration, doing rug repairs, doing rug IDs. I can go on and on. We really try to feature as much as we can in places where we believe people can learn the most. And we always tell people the same thing. Don't try to take 40 or 50 ideas back with you. Take 3 or 4 ideas back, really learn as much as you can at the show, and then take those ideas back and implement them right away so you still have that idea. The beauty of our show is these incredible experts we bring in who are our instructors are open. They want to help. They want people to call them afterwards, say, "Hey, I'm trying this, and you said, and what should I have done?" So, I mean, that's great to build those kind of relationships.
Mhm.
It really brings the industry together.
So the experience is real world education, pretty much.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's great. That is really great. So speaking of the experience, you have a show coming up very soon, May 8th through the 10th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. What can attendees look forward to?
Well, actually, the show starts on the 7th.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and there are 3 classes going on concurrently all day on the 7th, and
Mhm.
they're fantastic classes. And there's a guy named Howard Partridge who's been in the industry for a very long time. And about, man, how many years ago was that? 20 years ago, Jen?
At
It has to
least.
be. He started coming to our show and he started teaching a little bit. And now he has this amazing network
Mhm.
and he's doing a great job coaching and helping people. Well, he's coming back and he's doing a full day program, and it's called How to Build Your Dream Company. And it's a fantastic all day program. We keep the price down as much as we possibly can. And that's a class you should definitely take a look at. So that's one. And then the second class, we have a manufacturer and we have a cleaner getting together
Mhm.
to teach people how to do hard surface cleaning and restoration. And that's Brian Thompson and Mike Payate. Their class is called Multi-Surface Care and Repair Course. And so these guys always give me a hard time because I love carpet. So they put in their caption, everything but carpet. So, the bottom line is they've done an outstanding job teaching hands-on how to
Mm.
handle hard surface floors, luxury vinyl tile and plank, and then countertops and bathroom walls that are stone. I mean, they really give you an opportunity to grow your business, and certainly a great way to bring back some vital information to this also. And then we have a class with an attorney. And
Mhm.
I have to tell you, this class is pretty darn amazing. I have been spending a lot of time talking to Ed Cross, who's an attorney here in the United States. And he's doing a class called Strategic Strikes to Accelerate Your Business, your restoration business. And this is all restoration related. But he's bringing in a team of experts, and they're going through all the legal and operational aspects to make sure that you're doing the jobs right and you have everything in place and systems in place. And that's the day before. And then finally, afterwards, on the 11th, we actually have one final class, and that's put on by one of our great partners, Normie. And they're doing a mold assessment technician. And, as we were writing standards, we learned a lot about the assessment process. And we tried to dictate that you can only have mold assessments done by industry IEPs, indoor environmental professionals. Well,
Mhm.
there's so many companies that are outside the area where an IEP is available. This class really gives you the baseline information to be able to do these assessments, put them in place, work with lab sampling and moisture mapping and a variety of things. And also, even if you do have an IEP involved, at least you'll understand what the heck they're talking about and what they're putting in place. So those are great classes. And I want to tell you also that we have a couple of, what am I trying to say, keynote presentations,
Mhm.
one on Monday and one on Tuesday. So that's the 8th and the 9th. About 30 years ago, this guy named Dr. Michael Berry, who was with the EPA, wrote this book about cleaning first for health and then for appearance. Well,
Mhm.
30 years later, that book is still holding up as an amazing document. Dr. Berry is retired and there's no documents in print. But what we wanted to do was bring together a team of experts to talk about the importance of cleaning for health, not just in the cleaning industry, but also in the restoration and remediation industry also, and how valuable this information is to the consumer that's in that environment during and after the jobs. So I have Dr. Gavin McGregor Skinner, who's an amazing presenter, Jim Manis with Shaw Industries, Doug Hoffman with Normie, Jeff Jones, who is an incredible, knowledgeable guy and expert in our industry, and then myself, believe it or not. And it's going to be moderated by Barry Costa. And
Okay.
so we're really looking forward to that discussion. presentation will probably be a kind of a hoot. Now, we also have a presentation on Tuesday, which is related to cleaning and restoration administration. So how do you make these jobs easier on the inside? So many people struggle with billing, with estimating, with collections, with just communications.
Mhm.
And this is on every job. And so we've brought together 4 companies that are working together in this area. And that's Les Cunningham with Business Networks, Brandon Pateau with the Baker Group, Ryan Sandstrom with Copper Canyon Law, and Joseph Johnson with Restoration Insurance Billing. So they're going to share the stage for a little over an hour and talk about systems and how to systemize your own business to get better at what you do, which is critically important for anybody that's trying to grow their business and be successful. You know, the one thing we know, there's this guy named Dr. Michael, or excuse me, not doctor, but Michael Gerber, who wrote a book about the technician. We're all really good technicians when we get into these businesses. That doesn't equate to also being good business people and administrative people. And we love what we're doing out on the job, but then we're not very good about billing. We're not very good about communications, marketing, all these areas that we need to get help in. That's what this is all about. So overall, the program's amazing. There's 4 tracks of education, and we're thrilled to have another show, and especially in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where the sun is shining.
Yes, it sounds so innovative. There's so many things that you can learn there. So I'm wondering, Jillian and Jennifer, have you guys ever attended any of the classes, or are you just so busy working? Like, do you get to peek your head in at all?
Most of the time I don't get away from the registration desk.
Mhm.
Usually I used to go around and take pictures a lot.
Mhm.
And then I would get to sit and listen to some of it. And actually, one thing Larry didn't really touch on with this event that differs from the Vegas one is on Tuesday. It's Tuesday this time, the second day of the educational tracks. It's all live demos. And so people can come and go in each session and really get involved. So depending on the instructor we've had, that was always my favorite day to go take pictures, actually, as you're talking about this, because I could get in there and see when they would do an upholstery class, people were in there with upholstery tools, actually cleaning and learning in the process of how to do that. When they did the restoration tracks, they would set up all the equipment and people could get in there and learn how to set it up and what they do and how this works and why they're doing it. I remember one year he did one that was all on personal safety procedures, and he had people that attended just stand up, and he started dressing them up in all their safety gear and how you work it and how you attach it and how and those kind of things I think really make a big impact on our attendees that they bring back, because it's so involved and they really get to, you know, have that tactical experience with it as well, and that sticks with them. So that makes a big difference. Those are the ones I always tried to get into.
What about you, Jennifer? Do you ever get to peek your head in?
I do. I try. I like to listen to what they're saying. A lot of times I hear what they tell me ahead of the event, what they're coming to talk about and what they're going to be doing. So I try to peek my head in there as much as I can to see what they're doing. But we always do education in the classroom setting in the morning hours. And then what we take from that education in the morning hours, we bring it into the trade show hall for the afternoon. So we never have education or trade show going at the same time. They're completely separate times, so people can actually focus on what they're there to learn, and then they go apply it in the trade show hall once we learn that later in the afternoon. So once they get into the trade show hall, but that's where I excel the most, especially because those are all my exhibitors and sponsors that I like to hang out with and talk to all the time. And you know, they're there to make sure that they're getting return on their investments as well, because you know, they're coming there to make sure that their companies are getting exposure to the industry. People know that they're out there. People know that they're there to help them. Most of the time people are there to give the education part first and then make sales later. So, you know, people are coming there, they're there to see the new tools, the new equipment in the industry. There's a lot new technology coming into our industry nowadays. We
Yeah.
absolutely love that piece of it because Jillian and I being, the younger generations, we're always pushing it
Go ahead,
forward
rub
for
it in. It's okay.
more and more technology. So we do use an event app at our shows that we encourage all the attendees,
Mhm.
exhibitors, sponsors, everyone to be on the event app. It's very interactive. We do games on there to make sure it's very interactive for people to participate on there.
Mhm.
And we do giveaways every day with that as well. So it's called an Apple a Day giveaway. And so people can win prizes if they're interacting on our event app. We really push them to enjoy that as well. Vendors can partake in it, and it's fun to see the different competition levels that come when these games start playing at the event. So it's very interactive. Our attendees get very engaged with it as well. And we really enjoy seeing all of that. So
Well, and the fun part about it is they're not just winning tools or cleaning chemicals or that kind of stuff. Like the
Mhm.
Apple a Day part, we actually give away Apple products every day.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
give away
nice.
gift
Okay, that's
cards that-
cool.
so they get gift cards. We usually get them to like Home Depot or Amazon or
Fun
Starbucks.
stuff.
Yeah,
Everyday
fun stuff
that you
that's
get for
not
anything.
just for the cleaning and restoration industry.
but
There's
everybody
more
wants
to
that
it.
iPad.
Oh yeah.
Apple watches.
Yeah.
We get TVs, we get all sorts of things that are giveaways. So
One
So,
thing that we didn't bring up is on
Yeah.
the last day, there's a whole track in the Spanish language.
Mm.
And we've been trying to
What?
build that more and more because there is a lot of people in our industry that their first language is not English and it
mhm,
is Spanish, and they learn so much easier and better in their own language. So we're going to continue to offer that at our shows so that we can make sure that they're having a great experience also.
that's awesome. So, I have one last question. What does the future look like for the experience? I know that Julian, you mentioned that there was a show coming up in Vegas, but we're going to talk about that again at a later time. But if you wanted to, just what does the future look like for this year?
You know, the experience has been very innovative
Mhm,
and has sought out and worked with the latest innovations and technology. That's why there's so many product launches at our show, because people realize that we want new technology, new ideas, new operations, science for the industry. And in the future, a year from now, we're going to be in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And people are like, why in the world would you go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, other than to see the choo-choo? Shaw Industries is 25 minutes down the road. And we have a great relationship with the largest manufacturer of floor covering in the world, that's Shaw. And they care about their products enough that they invited us, the experience, to bring up to 250 people on mill tours, 5 different mills, to see how these products are actually manufactured, so that you have a better understanding when you're trying to process them, clean them, repair them, how they're built. And it changes the game for the industry. There's no question about it. We haven't done this in quite a few years. And when we did, everybody was like, wow, it really blows you away. But Shaw is an amazing company, and they really want to make sure that the cleaning and industry and the cleaning and restoration industry understands that they want to be partners. They want to be part of the solution long term, and they know if they do that, obviously their sales will continue to strive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool opportunity.
Well, I want to thank you guys for lending your time and your expertise and giving your insights. Before we go, where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about the experience?
That's a Jillian.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
So we still have our website, which is experiencetheevents.com. And if you go there, it directs you directly to the site to learn more about this upcoming conference. And soon it'll have our Las Vegas information up there as well. And you can go there if you want to register. Just click on the register now link and that'll take you to the registration page. I know we get lots of people that are like, why do you need all my information when I'm just wanting to go to the trade show or to a class? And it's really helpful because we can reach out to you about the future shows. So we really want to make sure that you go through and take the time so that we can make our shows better, and we can really reach out to you when the time comes for the next events.
And also, how do they register for the classes, the 4 classes, the
Sure.
3 before and 1 after?
Yeah, the best thing to do is you go onto our registration site through that link that says register now. You're going to click on attendee. You are an attendee coming to the show. And from there, you'll register as an exhibition hall only or trade show hall only registrant if you don't want to attend all the education for the 3 days of the tracks of education. And from there, you'll be able to do the add-ons. That's what they call them, as those classes. So you'll go to the next page and you'll be able to choose which additional classes you want to add on.
Yeah,
Okay.
several people have contacted me and like, how do I get to the classes? I just want to register for a class.
Mhm.
Well, we still need your information, obviously, so that we can register you properly and keep in contact with you about the class. So they need to go through that process.
Okay. So listeners and viewers, you can learn more about the experience, as you might have already seen in our weekly newsletter and on our website. And for more insights on restoration, remediation, and the people behind it all, visit our website, rnrmagonline.com, Apple or Spotify. If you haven't yet, be sure to follow the podcast to keep up with our latest episodes and give us a quick review and rating. We're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, so we invite you to follow us there too. This has been R&R's Ask the Expert. Thank you for listening.